2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 16th of May, and it's Love a Tree Day. And a big happy birthday to Janet Jackson, Megan Fox, Tori Spelling, and Pierce Brosnan. Russian forces have been pushed clear of Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, and its offensive in the Donbass has stalled, according to NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg. His update comes as Finland confirmed that it plans to formally apply for NATO membership. The decision was announced by Prime Minister Sanna Marin. A formal vote, followed by an application, is due to NATO headquarters in Brussels by next week.
We hope that the Parliament will confirm the decision to apply for NATO membership during the coming days.
Russian missiles struck targets in the west of Ukraine over the weekend, hitting military infrastructure near the city of Lviv. Russia's foreign ministry continued to warn that there will be retaliation for Finland's move to join NATO and that the end of the traditional policy of neutrality would be a mistake. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says that's not really any of Russia's business.
This rhetoric coming out of Russia, clearly concerning, and everybody will have to look at it and take it seriously. But it's not up to Russia to determine whether Finland or Sweden become NATO allies. It's up to the people of Finland and the people of Sweden.
On Sunday night, Sweden's ruling Social Democrats confirmed that they too intend to apply for NATO membership. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Berlin on Sunday to meet with Liz Truss and the foreign ministers of France and Germany, and he says there'll be a warm welcome for the applications.
I heard almost across the board very strong support for Finland and NATO joining the alliance if that's what they choose to do, and I'm very confident that we will reach consensus on that.
As the government continues to battle with rising inflation and the cost of living, Health Secretary Sajid Javid's announced that prescription charges are to be frozen. It's a move that may produce a saving of £17 million, but Labour's Ed Miliband said the government's just not doing enough.
In my 30 years or so that I've been involved in politics, I have never known a cost of living crunch like this. We're set for the biggest fall in living standards for 45 years.
Labour are planning to call a vote on Tuesday for a windfall tax on energy companies, but Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng says he's not a fan of the idea.
I wouldn't want to see it. I've always argued against it publicly and privately. But as every chancellor I can remember has said, 4 months before the budget, no option is off the table. It's entirely reasonable.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson's due to head to Northern Ireland on Monday to meet with all parties and discuss the Northern Ireland Protocol as the government prepares to introduce legislation to universally override parts of it. His visit comes as the deadlock continues over the new Assembly, with the DUP refusing to put any nominations forward until action's taken on the protocol. Ireland's Foreign Minister Simon Coveney was warning that all parties are getting frustrated with the lack of progress, but he cautioned against unilateral action.
Ireland is also frustrated. We are dealing with the consequences now of a decision by the British people on our own country that's cost us hundreds of millions of euros, that is risking the peace process and its institutions on the island of Ireland. And so, when we focus on frustrations, we need to think beyond Westminster.
Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng says the two issues are intertwined, but that he doesn't expect things will escalate to a full-on trade war.
It's clear to me that without changes to the protocol, you're not going to get an assembly, you're not going to get an executive.
Okay.
And that's undermines, the fact you don't get an executive undermines stability.
This weekend saw another mass shooting in the US, this time in Buffalo, New York. An 18-year-old man who's believed to have driven over 200 miles to carry out the attack at a Tops-friendly supermarket was deliberately targeting an area with a high black population. He streamed the attack live on Twitch and killed 10 people while injuring 3 more. One of those who was killed was a security guard who attempted to stop him. The mayor of Buffalo spoke after the shooting.
This is the worst nightmare that any community can face. And we are hurting and we are seething right now as a community.
The man was arrested, and his manifesto, a 180-page document published online, sees him describe himself as a fascist and a white supremacist. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says he'll be prosecuted as a terrorist.
It strikes us in our very hearts to know that there's such evil that lurks out there.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Liverpool had a very good weekend and Ukraine beat the UK to triumph at Eurovision. Right after this. Welcome back.
Saturday saw Chelsea face Liverpool in the FA Cup final at Wembley. Liverpool, who are chasing a quadruple, weren't able to break Chelsea down and it finished 0-0 after extra time. Liverpool managed to win the penalty shootout 6-5 and so won the FA Cup for the first time since 2006. They've now won every major trophy under Jurgen Klopp and he was understandably delighted.
I couldn't be more proud of my boys. What they did, the shift they put in, how they fought, how hard it was.
The weekend got even better for him when West Ham held Man City to a 2-2 draw, which leaves just the faintest of hopes that Liverpool could steal the Premier League title too. Pep Guardiola was not conceding a single thing though.
West Ham is fighting for Europa League, have made an incredible season, so it's so complicated to attack them and play against them, so difficult. It's in our hands, that's good.
Saturday night saw a Eurovision Song Contest of extreme drama. For the first time in over 20 years, the UK almost tasted Eurovision glory as Sam Ryder managed to win the jury's votes. However, the public voting saw a massive swell of popular support for the Ukrainian entry, the Kalush Orchestra, who ended their performance with a plea to help the Marines stranded in Azovstal. That was enough to push them to number one, dropping Sam to second place. And Ukraine's TV commentator Tima Morishnichenko, who was working from a bomb shelter, couldn't quite believe it. Stranger Things Season 4 drops on Netflix on May the 27th, and the cast were out and about for the red carpet premiere over the weekend. Millie Bobby Brown popped up on Jimmy Fallon to try out a potential new career as a professional impressionist. She's pretty good at accents.
And then I just do the accent. As long as I've watched it for long enough, I can kind of get it to somewhat of a T.
Like, what are you watching now?
Inventing Anna. So like I was in the hotel lobby the other day and they were like, Miss Brown, we have to run your cardigan. I was like, run it again. It must be your system. And it was, why do you look poor? You know?
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.